over here, amigo. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Bumblebee Bonanza, the channel where we look at all the wonderful moments of our favorite couple. Oh, and maybe we'll do some things for the RWBY reviews. Anyways, you might be wondering where the Cynical Critic went. Sadly, I've got some bad news for you all. He's still alive.
Wait, are we rolling?
Yeah, the drama queen's fine. He's just afraid to show his face on camera right now.
Stop recording! I'm not ready!
Bitch is embarrassed because he's got a big-ass pimple on his cheek.
Don't look at me! I'm hideous!
Fool, you were hideous before. If anything, that pulsating tumor should make you look more appealing. Anyways, while Doofus McButtface tries to make himself look presentable, try asking God. Maybe he has the strength. We will have to continue without him. Again, it's up to the Mexican to do the white man's job. Well, let's see, what happened last time? Oh yeah, my three little, not so little, and flat-chested girls were enjoying the morning with their coffee. Like the basic white girls they are. That is, until Yang finally realizes, shit, this ain't the same without my soon-to-be baby mama here. The ice cream of my sundae tries to cheer her up, letting her know that her life sucks too. But hey, at least they each have some hot ass waiting for them. That would be if a certain someone didn't keep smearing shit all over the beehive.
Hey man, all I smear is the truth. Now where's that hacksaw?
Yeah, and I didn't smear bacon grease all over your face while you slept.
You did what?
Nothing.
Not funny, dude.
Kinda is.
I literally have a second nose!
All the better to smell the bullshit you're spewing.
Excuse me?
But like I was saying, boys, Yang says she's done with the kitty, but Weiss ain't believing that. And neither am I. Cause it's like they say, when you finally get a taste of the cat, there ain't nothing going to be better than that. And maybe they're right, because it looks like someone else got hooked on the kitty already. And it seems she's into bondage.
Lacondon!
Alright. Don't get your zit in a twist. Blake eventually reveals that it was all a scam to find out what her darling was up to. Which turns out to be a plot to kill her parents and send her ass to Adam. But that ain't gonna happen, both because no one messes with the housewife and her 600 pounds of beef that she calls a man, and because the Bella Booty is done with that beta boy. She's found herself a real man. A woman. Well, that's the recap. You done?
Almost. I just have to put on a little something to cover it up. How do I look?
Loads better. I can barely recognize you.
Awesome. Alright, man. Roll the clip.
Why do you always think that we want to watch this? Let's get to Garrett killing fools! And oh, for God's sakes, would you stop doing this? When you set up that there's going to be an awesome fight next time, you follow up with that fight! Because I really don't care that Salem's found Mama Bird. Well then, like Raven, let's just suck it up and get through this. Outside, Bronwyn explains that she isn't happy to get even more uninvited guests, and orders her men to break camp. Merc tries for a little intimidation tactic, but Raven puts them all in their place.
I doubt anyone should be afraid of you. That's what I thought. 2 children you've tricked into following you, a disgraced Atlesian scientist, and a fall maiden with a surname so appropriate she probably picked it herself.
Damn, Cinder! Do you need some aloe vera? Because you just got burned! Worse than Pyrrha!
I can't believe you went there. How dare you?
Savage little MILF. Well, the two continue the clitoris measuring contest until Cinder informs her that she knows that they have the Spring Maiden. Raven calls for the Butch Babe, who demonstrates her power with a little wind, which seems to be turning Cinder on. I've not seen her so happy since the day she killed Pyro and smeared her asses all over her body.
If you don't stop bringing that up, I'm gonna smear something worse on your face.
Anyway, Slenderman informs her that all they really want is the relic of knowledge that only Vernal can access. Cinder has a way into the school and knows where the Spring Maiden's vault is, thanks to the treacherous headmaster Lionheart. Once they have what they need, Salem will leave them all alone. I swear.
I need time to think this over.
Well, you ain't got time, as the gang tells her. They plan on striking against Haven in 2 days, and they need her answer now. After a moment's hesitation, Raven agrees under one condition: that they kill Crow. He knowing too much and she wanting to please kick Vic before it was a thing, they can lay a trap and finally make Raven an only child.
Now this is a proposition I can get behind.
All right, ladies, let's pause for a moment.
Yes, I agree. We don't need any more lesbian ships. We have a ton of them already.
Too late! And then Raven and Cinder kissed and became super pregnant. The end of part 1. Now, onto part 2.
However, Watts points out that Crow won't go quietly, and one small screw-up could ruin the White Thing's attack. So Cinder says that they will strike just as Adam and Hazel arrive. But Mr. Mustache isn't happy. And he ain't the only one. I haven't seen her so angry since the night her face got a silver-eyed smackdown. He's worried that Cinder is just agreeing to get a shot at the White-Eyed Rose. But Cinder reassures him that Salem will get what she wants. They all will. However, back inside, it seems Raven's contemplating what has just occurred. After Vernal informs her that Cinder is staying at her ship just a few clicks out, Raven tells the biker bitch that they will need a backup plan, knowing all too well that Salem will simply discard him when they are no longer useful. To stand any chance against this force, they will need to claim the relic for themselves at all costs.
And the fact that your daughter will be a part of all that?
Doesn't matter. I warned her. She made her choice. This path won't be easy for us either, but we must do what's right for the tribe.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Good.
Okay, now back to... The drunk then is told that Osmond needs a moment and then they go bye-bye. Finally, we're back at the fight, where we get to see the Black Panther tearing up shop. However, the Owlbine brothers manage to pin him. But not to fear, Sun is here to help take on Fennec and Sokka.
What a try.
However, Blake arrives and pins the brothers. Gira then tells his kitten to go and find her mother as the boys stay to do the real work. Patriarchy, am I right?
I won't let you down, sir.
Shut up.
You got it.
Bumby confirmed.
Gira, if you would be so kind.
I really don't like you.
Thank you. Blake then rushes through the house, but it looks like someone's lying in wait for her.
And that was episode 9, and boy does Rooster Teeth like fucking with us.
However, despite not getting the fight that we were hoping for, we did get a pretty good episode that set up a lot for the future. Some that I'll get to later, but let's go over the major part of this episode, since it will only take me about 2 seconds to talk about the fight.
It sucked. Wow, that was faster than I expected.
But we'll get to that in a second. First, let's take a look at what was good in this episode, and that was the standoff between the bitches.
Excuse me. Technically, only one of them is a bitch. The other is clearly a MILF.
Now, the best thing overall in this stare down is what was built. The atmosphere. You can just feel the tension in the air like static, where at any moment we expect lightning to break the silence and for the real showdown to begin. This has mainly to do with the voice actors who play off each other very well. Anna Hollum, Jessica Negri, and Chris Cuckboy Sabat all do a pretty amazing job at antagonizing the other while standing their ground. And it's clear that each are just using the other to fulfill their own agenda. But while they may suspect as much, we get this really fun game of poker as each is trying to bluff out the other. But though she has chosen to go along with their side right now, Raven's loyalty isn't with them. And it doesn't seem like it's with anyone's. While she does seem concerned for Vernal, judging by the latter's reaction to her, it seems that Raven only yields to herself. But this doesn't sound like the usual, "Screw you guys, I'm going home," as there appears to be something deeper, something that she hasn't revealed yet in words. As subtle hints show that Raven knows something that the others don't, and is hiding it well. But what could that be?
Well, if she's anything like Yang, it's a secret desire to get that puss.
And what are the relics? The more we learn about them, the more intriguing they become. Learning that only the maidens can access them gets us to wonder if it is only by their hand that they can work. Which may be why Salem seems dead set on acquiring all of the maidens rather than simply using them to get their relics. And that may be why Cinder fell for Salem in the first place. I noted back in Volume 3 that she sounded like someone who lusted after power, confirmed again here, but that it seemed to originate from something in her past, a pain that was done to her, which is why she is so focused on not only getting power, but on getting back on any and all who dare wrong her. But is she willing to go against Salem's orders? While Watts is a good little boy that does everything that his mistress says, kinda like real life. Cinder is nicely exposed here to be still living by her own will. True, she'll obey Salem's orders when she must, but given the chance, I wouldn't put it past her to solely pursue her own desires. Especially if that means Ruby is one of them.
You know, I haven't really given the Fallen Petals ship much thought, but given the right incentive, I may be inclined to get behind it.
And though I'm picking on the guy, and probably will continue to, I can put my grievances with Mr. Vegetable aside and admit that his art is pretty good, even if the artist does have some ugly flaws.
Cause Miles and Carrie are a confusing bunch. They can't seem to deliver a threatening villain when they need to, but when it comes to the sidecast like this, they seem to be able to perform. Maybe the bad guys have stage fright? Or maybe these two are idiots. Well, whatever the case, Watts showed us how a proper dislikable villain is done. Last time it was with Adam, who is just awful. But Watts is dislikable in an oddly likable fashion. As mentioned, this partly has to do with the skill of the voice actor, but his lines are also geared in a way to get us to not like him while enjoying his presence. He's such a Weasley character, focused on only achieving his own goals and not giving an ounce of respect to anyone besides Salem, which makes him just so much fun to watch. And like the Weasel before him, we are given no reason to need to like him. The reason this doesn't work with somebody like Adam is simply because he was supposed to be playing a sympathetic part with a strong emotional connection to another important character. Oddly enough, we need to empathize with him, even if we can't agree with his actions. Arturo, however, is just playing an evil businessman with little to no redeeming characteristics that would call him to need to have an emotional connection to the audience. So, it's perfectly alright if we don't care about not hating him.
But speaking about conflicting characters, since she's going to be playing an important part in things to come, let's take a look at Vernal for a moment.
Way ahead of you.
Again, she appears deeply loyal to Raven, more than just normal goon would, to the point where it's very similar to Arnold's loyalty to Cinder.
Going back on your no more lesbian ships, Good. Give in to your feelings. Let the lewd flow through you.
It just sets up another wonderful dynamic of trust and, well, like with Cinder, I wouldn't say friendship as I'm not sure if Raven returns the favor, but it does get us to think about this girl and what led her to the old bird. We know that the Spring Maiden got scared of what was being asked of her and that something pushed her over the edge to cause her to run. But that doesn't sound like Vernal. In all the encounters we've had with her, not once did she seem afraid of anyone or anything. If anything, she was overly confident. Does this mean that Raven was able to help her to hone her skills enough to overcome her fears? I don't know. Something just doesn't seem to match up with Leo's description of the girl. And I sadly have a sneaky suspicion that it has something to do with a writing error. Or it could be something else, something much bigger that must have happened. Because something just doesn't feel right.
It's called pre-watch syndrome, and you got it big time.
Anyways, whatever it may be, it does seem that we have a lot to look forward to in regards to our final conflict.
It's just too bad that I can't say the same thing for this future conflict.
Because this was as poor as a build-up as the DCEU. First of all, it wasn't needed. We already had a nicely executed starter back in the previous episode. So why cut to the fight just to remind us that it's still going to happen and then cut away when things were just about to get good? I'll tell you why. Because Miles and Carrie are dumb and, more to the point, lazy. This is just the cliche moment for building up to each of the major battles for our different characters. And they've always couldn't help themselves in using the easy way out of a writer's block.
The pot says to the kettles.
But you might be more curious on the "it sucked" statement that I made in the beginning of this review's third act. And, well, sadly, I'm not the only one. If it was just me and my bias of character over conflict, then I would concede like I did with the infinitely superior Robo-Roman fight. However, nearly everything was wrong with this one, and again, it's because they were just going through the motions to set things up for the next one. The movements of the characters were predictable, boring, and slower than a mentally retarded grandma on a Roomba. This action alone was on par with Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. And that's not for a lack of ability, but a lack of effort. Hell, you could have simply just edited this to make it flow faster while not losing the audience. If movies like the MCU and shows like Attack on Titan have taught us anything, is that fast-paced fights aren't a bad thing if the right camera cuts and shots are given. And you all should know by now my stance on cliches, but this isn't a good usage of them, because it only ends up in failing in what they set out to achieve. Not many were looking forward to this next fight in the same way that they have with many others, though there is one fight that does have us on the edge of our seats.
However, this is not because of the epic combat that we most certainly will not be getting, but because of the setup that came before.
From pissing on them to praising them, it's like I'm our Lord and Savior Trump. But Miles and Carrie are to be congratulated on how they managed to set up the conflict between Blake and Ilya. They've given us each of their own reasons for fighting. They've given us enough history to know who each of them are and why they have chosen their side. They've shown us enough to feel empathy for both of them, even if we've already chosen who we're going to back. And they've made it clear just how strong of a conviction each one holds to. Now, it's just a matter of whose conviction is stronger.
So while I can't fault anyone for not being really excited for the Battle of the Boys, I can say that we're all looking forward to the War of the Women.
I'll say, I have weapons for your battle. By weeb law, you are to use them.
Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to help out the channel, and comment to let me know what you thought about the episode. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Zit. With me, no blackhead is sacred, no pimple is safe, but all deserve to be popped. I'll catch you guys next time. Whoops. Oh my god! My eye! Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
Double at mill. One on crossbeam's gone out to skew on treadle.
Pardon?
One on crossbeam's gone out to skew on treadle.
But what on earth does that mean?
I don't know. Mr. Wentworth just told me to come in here and say that there was trouble at the mill, that's all. I didn't expect a kind of Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.